West, and this is Studio 7 on YouTube West. And I have my cool glasses on for a moment because I'm going to have to take them off if I ever want to read my computer again to get through this movie review. But this movie is so cool that it requires an introduction with cool glasses. It requires that look to you because without it, you'd miss it. And this movie is a 1985 production called To Live and Die in L.A. Dun-dun. Okay, hats on, glasses off, because that's the way it is. To Live and Die in L.A. is not a great movie by any means. It's a cult classic. So it puts it in its own kind of unique category because what you're going to have is a bunch of people early on in the beginning of their careers coming together to do a story which was written by an actual agent. Somebody was actually in the business of dealing with the subjects in our movie, which really makes it nice. But what makes it even better is that all these people came together for very low money, for very little opportunities. And because of their presence in this movie, To Live and Die in L.A., it becomes one of the classic films to be watched in any film study course or just to be watched in general when you're talking about doing heist movies or bank robbery movies or CIA films later on because of its nuances, because of the accidental pieces that put this movie together. Now, I'm going to start with the cast. The cast has William Petersen. Okay? You're not going to know the name, but you're going to recognize him. It has Willem Dafoe. If I need to tell you who that is, you're on the wrong channel. But on the other hand, maybe that's why you're here, is to learn who Willem Dafoe is. Now, people say William. It's really Willem. But everybody gets it wrong, and he doesn't seem to mind because he made good money at it. John Pankow. Now, you're going to recognize this guy from working with Quentin Tarantino and on TV, doing cop roles and buddy-buddy roles. And he's really good at doing it. He's really excellent at the comedy. But in here, he's just kind of pushing his way through. Now, there's a gal in here named Debra Feuer. I have no idea who she is, but her body looks pretty good, so we'll let her slide. We've got Darlanne Fluegel. Her body looks even better. And Dean Stockwell. And if you're back in the 50s and 60s in televisions, you know who Dean Stockwell is. Or if you're in the 80s and you're familiar with Quantum Leap, you'll know who Dean Stockwell is. But he sticks out as well. Now, cinematography is by Robby Müller. Not too many people knew who he was at that time. And it was produced by MGM UA along with a slew of other people who basically sold out their titles to not have them on the film. Today, when we see a movie, we see like it's a Scott-free production or it's a Bad Robot Productions, but there's like 20 titles in front of that. Everybody wants to get a piece to get their name up on the screen. But back then with the studio system, not everybody got to put their name on the screen.
No, I don't think so.
Now, the movie runs about 116 minutes, and that's just long enough for our plot to develop, our action to take place, and in the spirit of the 7-Ups, some pretty decent car chases that go on as well, along with a little tasteful nudity, because that's what I call it, is tasteful nudity, which I will not preview here on this movie. I will tell you that it has to do with money. I will tell you that it has to do with stealing. I will tell you that it has to do with the Secret Service, CIA, and all these people who are interested in following the money and trying to get it done. And I'm not going to tell you which one because that's part of watching the movie, and I don't give away the plots, nor do I give away the ending. But what I want you to see is how simplified the movie is and how it works for the movie because they don't take themselves too seriously, which a lot of actors do. They put themselves in the roles the best they could because of the position of their careers and make it move even better. Now, there's going to be some subjects that in 1985 are in this movie that are just being explored in the multimedia universe, and there's going to be some technology involved. But these subjects become part of everyday life now, and thank you for that. And I'll let you figure out which subjects those are. Like I said, you can see the kind of simplified nature, the way it's filmed, the way it's put together, it's low budget, the way it's just kind of drifting along, but it keeps you interested. It keeps you at the table. The music is fantastic. You'll find a lot of what they call period songs, including the title track, To Live and Die in L.A. by Wang Chung, which, if you're a follower of my channel, you see I use on another movie about Hollywood starlets and how their time is fleeting as they are in Hollywood. So check that one out as well. Now, let's talk about rating this movie. Even though it's a cult classic, is it the best of the best? Unfortunately not. Is it the worst of the worst? Not by any means. Not with the way it's put together. Not with the way it's done. No, this is a 6 out of 7 production. There's no doubt about it. Now this is a quick review, but it's a quick movie. 116 minutes, it's worth it. Even though it's 1985, it's a great film, it's a cult classic, and it's called To Live and Die in L.A.